morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Wednesday, the 10th day of August 2022, and you're logged on to WINNFM 98.9 on the FM dial to another episode of Voices. My name is Socrates, host of today's program, and we're going to have a very special guest with us today. I promise you it's going to be exciting, but we'll get into that right after we pay homage to our sponsors. We will be right back.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Once again, good morning. Welcome back to all our viewers and listeners on this platform. It's Voices today with a special twist. I promise you, there's a special guest in the house. I want to say good morning to all the listeners out there in New York, in Atlanta, in the USVI, around the region, Angola especially. We have in the house the president of PAM USA, all right?
Vice President.
Vice President of PAM USA. And for those who know the voice, you would have recognized the voice of the one and only New York Joe. Live and direct in the studios of WINNFM 98.9. New York Joe, have you been here before?
Yes, sir.
You've been here before?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Welcome back to the studios. I don't want to give out your business, but I had to snag you because you're about to leave, right? And for those who might wonder, well, what he doing in this case? This is a man who has his pulse, his finger on the pulse of just about everything happening in the Federation, politically, socially. As a matter of fact, you called me prior to the elections and gave me your assessment as to how things were. You saw things unfolding. Mm-hmm. So now you're well versed into what's happening. You didn't really come down for that, but I call you New York Joe. For those who don't know you, which will be very, very few, I'm going to turn the mic over to you and let you just talk to your people.
Special good morning to all the listeners, home and abroad. My name is New York Joe, Joe the Barber, Joe Mason, Joe Tweedy, anything you want to call me.
And the fisherman.
Fisherman. Okay. And you know what? Everybody assume politics brought me here to St. Kitts, but what happened is my baby daughter actually had a wedding plan prior to all this political turmoil. Mm-hmm. You know, so we actually here for her wedding. She got married on Saturday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So between myself and her, we had over 100 and something, 140 something guests from overseas.
Wow.
From overseas that came.
You had your own charter?
No. Everybody came at different time. No charter. If I had a charter, they would have think something else. Mm-hmm. You know. But, you know, that's the way it is. So I just want to say congratulations to my daughter and her husband. And it was it was a treat for all those people who came to St. Kitts for the first time. St. Kitts Nevis, I should say, for the first time, because we visit both islands. You know?
Well, I appreciate that, and once again, congratulations. I know you were coming because we discussed this some time ago. Stupid question. How did it feel to be home, once again?
Well, listen, it always feels great to be home, especially after we couldn't come home for 2 years. I was here 2019.
Before COVID?
Right before COVID. Then COVID hit, and then, 2021 was kind of, and then we actually made it here for the wedding. First time since 2019 I'm here, but it's always nice to be here, and just about everyone who came down for the first time, they plan on returning. So they're already planning another trip to St. Kitts.
So Joe, the ambassador?
No.
Because in 2019 there was a catchphrase, who out, tap out. So you were able to come in and coincidentally landed in the mix of the elections.
Right in the mix, and unfortunately, I must surprise everyone and tell them that I did not vote. I didn't vote for a reason, because I didn't like the way things went on in St. Kitts. And I must say that I look at the election. I got up in the morning, I look at the results and stuff like that, and I said, Nevis got 3 seats. Labour got 6 seats.
They would have gotten 6, yes.
Timothy got elected. So the motive for the election was that Pam actually got rejected. So as much as they're fighting against him, he won his seat. Not that he's prime minister, he's going to be prime minister, but he won his seat. But the fight against him from Pam is what actually surprised me. And I don't think that, it was the right thing to do. Regardless of what, some things didn't have to come to the forefront. And right after the PAM convention, I called on a couple of leaders to heal the pain. It doesn't look good. Heal the pain. And when they talked to me, I didn't like the way they talked to me. They talked to me like they ain't got no sense. So I told them where he's going. And they said, no, it's going to go. I said, no, you cannot go that way. You have a coalition government that Labour keeps saying from you got together, it's not going to work. And you win the last election by almost a landslide, which means it was working. And in less than 2 years, you shot yourself in the foot, which is just, I must say, I don't care what any PAM leader or any PAM official have to say. I think PAM has been run for many years, like nobody have any organization skills, any leadership skills, and I keep talking to them and they won't listen to me.
You being the vice president of PAM
USA, PAM
USA. Were you having ongoing dialogue with them?
None.
None?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. The last time somebody from PAM USA came here at PAM convention was myself. I came here 2010. That's 12 years ago. And no contact since. You had leadership of PAM who've been in New York for like a week and a half. You try to reach out to them, then reach out to you. I mean, you have election coming up. You know the deal is to bring people home to vote and stuff like that. Not one phone call from a PAM official. Not one. PLP called me. They did call me to round up some people and stuff like that. And get
you don't have good working relationship with
them?
Yes,
yes. Very good relationship with just about everyone. Not from PLP, CCM, also even the Labour Party. Me and Congress is, we cool. We speak to each other from time to time. I met Dr. Drew, spoke to him. He's good people, plus a couple of other guys in Labour. We cool and whatnot. I'm a Kittitian, first of all. And I tell them that,
I want to point out that this is not Monday morning quarterbacking, even though it's a Wednesday. You would have shared those views with me prior to you coming in for the event for your daughter's marriage. So I'm aware that these were your views prior. Things played out the way you more or less anticipated them. So you're here to talk to the people of St. Kitts Nevis. You gave your assessments. How do you see things going forward? Well, first, congratulations to the new government. That's in order.
Yeah, well, right? Congratulations to the new Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, and his crew. congratulations to the Labour, party and winning the election. It was an easy win, to tell you the truth. Without a doubt, I mean, with Pam shooting herself in the foot, it was an easy walkout for Labour.
But I look at the clip with Hartley Henry this morning when he spoke about the assessment because he was the strategist for the Labour Party. And they spoke about how they were able to maneuver and take advantage of the time frame they had. He said he believed that Timothy, when he called the election, after he fired the 6 persons, he should have called the election within 21 days. But he gave them 3 months, the Labour Party, to galvanize. He said, had he called it then, this was Hartley Henry was saying. Had Timothy Harris called the election within 21 days after he had sacked the 6, right? Labour would have been floundering, but he gave them.
No.
I'm telling you what the man said.
No, that's what he said.
He gave them at least 3 months to galvanize because he said 21 days would have been too less time for them to really get those candidates up and running.
Let me explain something to you. Okay, what they call it, 21 days or 3 months? Labour would have still won the election. Okay? Pam set out to destroy Tim. And Tim was always calm and collective. And to the end, Tim came out firing. You understand? What happened is Tim actually destroyed Pam. Pam don't even know it. You try to destroy Tim.
That's how you phrase it from the onset, that they try to destroy him. Have you heard from both sides?
Both sides. Both sides. I'm not saying anybody...
And so they were not justified in any way in what they did.
All of them are wrong. All of them are wrong for breaking up team unity. They all are wrong. But it did not have to come to the forefront. It didn't have to come to the forefront like this. The way Pam did it was wrong. Whether Tim was doing something wrong or not, they were wrong for doing it the way they're doing it. At the convention, you got 10 people jumping up at your convention. Those 10 people can't put you in power. The majority of Pam people rejected you right then and there at the convention.
The voter turnout was very low, but we'll get back to that. We have to pause now to give Caesar his due, and we will be back after a few words from our sponsors, okay?
Buster, roll it up, leave the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that we like. Buster, you're full of vibes, living for the color. I know black and white, we do what we like. We live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life.
Yes?
Jean!
Body spray's hot, boy. I can't take it.
Well, it's a good thing I called. The TDC Home and Building Depots are having their Cool 'em Down sale with 20% discount on fans, AC units, coolers, fridges, and more to beat this heat, girl.
Girl, Betty, you're making joke.
No, so stop sweating and let's go to the store now.
Ooh, you come pick me up, because may want to miss the sale at TDC Home and Building Depot.
Yeah, man. And don't forget you can also shop online too, using shoptdcgroup.com.
Cool.
Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Class, it's that time of year again to get everything you need for back to school. Go to the TDC Home and Building Depot in St. Kitts and City Drugstore Nevis Limited or shoptdcgroup.com. Shop and get deep discounts for all your school essentials. Backpacks, notebooks, pens, pencils, school bundles, computers, and more. While you're there, be sure to donate to Shop and Share to help the less fortunate and stay ahead of the grade. Oh, and don't forget, Flash Sale Fridays. Now that you know, class is dismissed. See you at the TDC Home and Building Depot and City Drugstore Nevis Limited. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
At 16 minutes done past the 11 o'clock hour, you're logged on to WINNFM 98.9. for another episode of Voices. My name is Socrates, and with me in the studio today is New York Joe, Vice President of PAM USA. And he's here. He came home for an event for his daughter's wedding, happened to be here for the election. And before he came down, he gave me sort of assessment as how we saw the elections playing out. He's now here speaking to us. We're going to run this for the next 15 minutes before we open the lines and give people a chance to engage you. We know people would like to hear what you have to hear, maybe come to you, etc., etc. So, yes, New York Joe. We were speaking about, at the time, what was the last reason? I forgot.
The destruction.
Oh, yes. I asked you, have you heard from both sides? So you think this was vindictive? They were not justified in how they approach things?
No. First of all, if you look at, if Tim is doing something wrong, something you don't like and whatnot, that's not the way to do it. You understand? You went after Tim to actually get him out. You understand? As leader. He's your partner. You can get him out as leader.
But if he's not functioning as a partner, based on the names are called, what they signed, the agreement, if he's not functioning, because let me play devil's advocate. My understanding is that they try to engage him in dialogue time and time again as to how he's performing or not performing, not working with them. And he ignored them. So they took it public. That's my understanding. You are more involved. You have a better pulse on the situation than I would have had. So I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That's what they are saying. He's saying something different. Who's wrong, who's right? I'm not here to say that. But the bottom line is you were a team unity. And to destroy it, every one of you all are to be blamed. You understand? No, you think you could get Tim out as leader and put in another leader and still keep team unity? That's a no-no. So what Pam was hoping for is three seats from CCM and put the government together.
At the very least.
Okay? Here it is. In Pam history, Pam can't even put a government together by himself. They need to focus on that first.
But tell me something. Labour, as we know, has always been the stronger party on things going back to Robert Blatcher Day. When Pam came to power, it was on the strength of a coalition. They have never been dominant as a party on St. Kitts. They know this.
You see, because they don't know how to organize. And I was speaking in 1999 to somebody, and Dr. Kenny Simmons tells somebody, come over and listen to me. Okay? Because Pam is not in all 8 constituency. They only stick in somebody when it's election. You don't do that. Labour have a well-oiled machine. And I tell them all the time, take a page from Labour book. Okay? The way Labour win the few last elections leading up to the 20 years in power, we know how they did it. We spoke to the guys. We got in there now to do it. The charters come from New York and overseas. We know how they did it. So I told my guys in New York when we start doing the charters and stuff in New York, how we going to do it? We're going to do it Labour way. Whatever Labour do, we're going to do. So you're going to put people from overseas in the constituency that you need numbers. That's what Labour do. So we did the same thing. We got 3 charters come out in 2015. That's how we did it. That's how Labour did it. I'm saying to them, you need to run an organization the way Labour run it in St. Kitts also. You need to get a young group going. You know, you got the same old people in PAM just looking for a title. And once they have a title, they do not know how to utilize themselves.
The outreach.
No, they cannot. And they need to learn to listen. When I was at PAM convention in 2010, I told them a story about the trailer truck that was stuck on the overpass.
The trailer truck that was stuck on the overpass.
On the pass.
Where was this?
Right? It's a story. The trailer truck was stuck on the underpass. And all kind of engineer, firefighter, all kind of top engineers, everybody come and take it out, couldn't get it out. A little kid come and say, he know how to get out the truck. They chased the kid. When they couldn't get the truck out, they said, let's listen to the kid. The kid said, let the air out the tire. And I told that story. The moral of the story is you have to listen to everybody. If down to the little kid, you have to listen to them. And that's PAM problem. They do not listen. I don't care you get pissed off at me. They don't listen.
But you were one of the strategists.
No.
You're saying...
No, I wasn't a strategist. I talk to them, but they don't listen.
No. I'm not talking about in the latter stage earlier on, because you're one of the organizers at the New York end, you spoke about getting the flights together to come down. So that's why I said you were a strategist.
Gotcha.
But you say in the latter years, there were no dialogue, nobody reached out to you at all.
No, never. They reached out to me. I reached out to them. The last person I spoke to was Milo. I'm happy to talk me and Milo conversation. Because even Milo don't understand. Milo surprised me.
In terms of?
I'm telling Milo, I heard you're going to run in 3. We're going to run in 3-4. Oh, can you win 3? So, oh, yes, I can win 3. Milo, you can't win 3. The PLP and PAM voters are the same voters. They're going to split and then Labour going to win that seat.
It was said that he was instrumental in getting Lakila to take the seat for Congress. But 3, because you mentioned a word about that PAM don't run in all the constituencies. They know that 6 can't be 1.
It can be 1.
It can be 1.
Yes. It's not going to happen overnight.
The view is that 6, and that's why 3 was a big surprise breakthrough. And they gave Milo the credit for the groundwork he did to be able to unseat Congress.
Yes,
those
but
2 constituencies.
But Milo going to split Aquila and PLP and PAM votes.
The 3 way split will all
they're going to split it. And then Labour going to get the same numbers. Right? So do the math. It's simple math. Milo, you cannot win in 3. What I'm saying is, I mean, as it is, we see that nobody could have won more Congress. But I'm saying, let Aquila win that seat, and you will weaken Labour. So even Labour have 5, you can still go back and, hey, Tim, come here, let's talk. It's done.
I would have thought that at that point, I mean, we know politics makes strange bedfellows. At that point, there was so much rancor and enmity and name calling between
power. Power is a B. Anything for power. You understand? You see where Tim come from. You know what I'm saying? Came to unity.
But when he
you understand? They used to call each other names, right? They got together, right? So listen, anything for power. Nothing would have been left out.
Convenience.
You have Labour was trying to talk to CCM also in the last election also. Did you know that?
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to explain to you, anything for power. So what I'm saying is, by going in 3, you strengthen Labour. Not that Congress would have never win a seat. So as we see now, we would have win it. But by going there, you strengthen Labour and you're giving Labour that seat. Okay? So I'm saying if Aquila is there, leave Aquila, help Aquila 1. Okay, that's PLP. So what? By you going there, you're giving Labour the seat. And I told Milo that when Milo tell me he could win the seat, I said, Milo, something wrong with you. I never talked to Milo since. I ain't call him back since. Call him back for what?
Okay.
They're not understanding. You got 3 party. PLP and PAM votes are the same people. They split. Labour numbers stay the same. Labour win election easy. That's what I predicted.
I actually read a clip from the chap from Central where he would have said that he's disappointed because the PLP voters that he thought he had were actually Labour voters who actually conned him.
Nonsense.
Just to paraphrase what
I know, he could find all kind of excuse now. The bottom line, I told him from day one, leave that seat alone.
You spoke with him? We're talking about...
No, I thought you were talking about Milo.
No.
I only spoke
number
to
3. You're talking about Central, you're talking about number 2.
John L?
Not John L. The other chap who ran for PLP. Nubian, yeah.
You see, I don't even speak to these people. Once this stuff happened from the PAM convention, I ain't listen to no radio. And Facebook, I flip it over. I don't listen to nothing else. Because that was total destruction right there from the PAM convention. I ain't listen to nothing else. And I spoke to a couple big dogs. I don't want to call all of them name. You understand? And they're talking the same thing. Once I talk to Milo, I mean, I could start to talk to Sweeney. Sweeney, my boy, I could start talking to him. But Sweeney's on the same page with them. I said, Sweeney, no. And they don't listen to me. You know, PAM need to bring in some 20-year-olds right now. Some 20-year-olds. All those guys.
That would be my next question. Should they call you within the next 3, 6 months, 18 months and say, New York Joe, we need you to be back with us. We need you to help us strategize. What would your advice be?
My advice would be, and I spoke to Mr. Lindsey Grant yesterday, and I will tell Pam the same thing I tell him yesterday. All those guys who don't understand leadership and organizing, need to step aside. They do not understand it. Step aside. Let somebody who understands organizing take control of PAM. All you're there for is for a title. It doesn't work like that. You're there for a title.
You see any recommendations? Anybody want to?
Listen, I'm not too familiar with too many people down here, you know. Okay. You can understand. I'm not too familiar with them down here. So they got to find somebody. I mean, I could talk even more, and I don't care who get pissed off at me.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard who's running in number 8, I said, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He would have won twice before on a PAM ticket, right?
Yes.
At least once before you.
But what I'm saying, he wasn't not the best candidate there, no. You understand?
Would you have had a preference?
A preference?
Mm-hmm.
Get a 25-year-old athlete. He would have been better than what we had. Somebody young. Anybody with a name. But they don't listen. So I leave them alone. No, I look at TV. No, some people talk about even dismantling PAM. It's not a bad statement. Based on how the leaders are performing, it's not a bad statement.
They would conduct a postmortem. That's a given, right? How they emerge is a different story, right? Would you make a call to them?
No, they have to call me.
They have to call you.
Yeah. So let's work for me.
Because you're coming from a place where you've been there before, you've seen it. You're not really fresh eyes, but you had a different perspective out there. And the overseas vote has always been a determinant in the elections. 2015, COVID. No. The plane issue. 2015. The plane debacle.
Yeah,
a lot of those votes didn't get in time. And
no. I like that in, you know. But a couple did not get in, but remember, Labour had 27 charter flights.
27.
Pam had 3. Pam had 3. 2 from New York, 1 from Miami. Okay? And those persons were placed strategically.
And you were instrumental in that?
Yes. The election after that.
Who else support?
Yes.
Who intervened?
Okay, and PAM Team Unity did better. They win more seats. So, what happened in less than 2 years? Look in the mirror. In less than 2 years, what happened?
The risk for me, and I've always said this to people, we are not looking at the fact that the 2 previous elections, the overseas vote didn't get in and make the impact they normally did. This, when you're making your plans
it was actually one plane.
They got in one plane?
No, one plane didn't get in 2015.
But it was instrumental because...
That plane might not make a difference because you remember...
Patches won by
4. Yeah. So that might make a little difference.
You know, and Labour would not have forgotten that.
No.
They forget that.
But look at this now. Labour had charter flights come on this last election. Not one from PAM. Not one. How you expect to be in an election?
Is it funding?
Huh?
Is it lack of funding?
Lack of organizing. If you organize and have the numbers...
So Labour had 4 charter flights coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
PAM 0. And you want to tell me that's organizing?
Okay.
You deserve to lose the election.
We are hearing from New York's Joe, Vice President of PAM New York. He's here with us in the studio. And I might say I'm glad you're here because you called me this morning. We discussed it, was it 2 days ago? You'll be here for the interview or for the chit-chat, and then you called so you could make it. And I beseech you because you said, we know you're traveling today, so I'm very, very happy. I've really eat your heart out. I was supposed to come and chat to you tonight. I know. But we're going to pause for a word from sponsors right now, and when we return, we're going to open up the lines and have people, if they choose, to engage you and just have a much better debate, okay? So we go to word for sponsors.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
It's 25 minutes pushing up on the 11 o'clock southwest of the midday hour. And that means we have about 27 minutes with New York Joe with us in the studio. We're going to open the lines for people to call and make their contribution, ask questions, whatever it is you want to do. 662-0989 gets you in on the conversation. 466-0989 gets you in on the conversation. Please call and listen what we have to say. New York Joe, the lines are open. We invite the callers to make their inputs. Of course, it's called Voices. Anybody want to... well, let me just stay on topic, though, because we don't get New York Joe in the studio. Get with it. And the times when I'm when I'm hosting, I heal up New York Joe in New York and so on, because I know your person, as I said, with your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the Federation and such. So, New Boom normally sweep clean. And I like what the PM did, the current PM did, in extending the security detailed for the former Prime Minister. It's never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
He can keep his vehicle and they will extend the security detail. That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I recall years ago when that was denied Dr. Simmons, they made a reference to Dominica. It was being done in Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
So some 20 years after, it's been observed him saying, guess that's a good step, a good example to set.
Healing.
Yeah.
Mm. After what they went through, healing. And we need that in St. Kitts. And that's something I'm discussing. I'm trying to I talked to a couple of people already.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have like a peace party,
Is that why you're wearing white?
No.
Because you said it before, wearing white. You don't have to be neutral.
White t-shirt, yeah. What I'm pushing for, and if one person opposes, it will not happen. I'm pushing for a peace party with everyone in the same room. Mm-hmm. Every politician who curse each other, every leader in political organization in the same room, because we are one St. Kitts Nevis, and we need to get some things done. And there are a lot of things that need to be done in the Federation when Nevis is concerned also.
Okay. We go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning, 11 Voices. Hello, caller, 11 Voices. Hello, are you there?
Greetings.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to Voices.
No, my brother. Greetings. Extending greetings to your guests here,
Yes, New York Joe, the one and only.
Okay. Talking about revolution, changes. What we also would love to see, my brethren in Tabernacle suggested that, that I want to echo it, because it's a good suggestion. Persons who, candidates in the election who win their seat, all who win their seat, should be part and parcel of the government that is forming. Because the Westminster-style system are set up to keep us divided. It's a divide and rule system. We as an African people have to think differently. And persons who who are the two ones? Mr. Harris won his seat, Mr. Richards won his seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two persons, and whosoever won the seat, they should be part of the decision making going forward with any government form. We need to revolutionize that.
Definitely
need to do that.
I like that point. And that's something I've been discussed because my comrades here from New York, who just learning about over here, they wants to know why Nevis, because you got 6 seats in Labour in St. Kitts, why Nevis don't have a part in government. And, you know, if in Parliament, yes, you make laws in Parliament, but you're outnumbered in Parliament. So it's like Nevis can't make no decision. And I think that we should have a situation where instead of forming a government with just 6 seats, it should be a minimum from St. Kitts and maybe 1 from Nevis, or 2 from Nevis. You know?
Inclusive,
yes, Nevis should be inclusive.
Need to do that.
And that need to be changed. That's something I'm echoing with some folks, but I don't know if politicians are hearing me, but that's something they should put on the table. That's a very good point you brought up, and I like it.
Well, my brother, speaking about politicians, you know, the people run things, you know.
Point.
The people run things.
Point
so we have to make sure that these changes are made, you know, these changes, because we can't afford the division thing. The last thing we need as an African people, trying to get over, you know, from our 400 years experience of physical enslavement. We need unity, and we need fundamental unity, you know, serious unity as a people going forward, so that we can be progressive for all and sundry. Put moon and bagay. The other thing we want to echo quickly is the nastiness that we are seeing in Basti, especially. Even when after the winning, after the election, and even up to the time of the motorcade, I know we discussed when the motorcade was leaving Basti stink, the only place that was clean. Give thanks to the clean people. The decision on 4th Street came out and make sure that 4th Street is clean. All around Basti just stink and nasty. And the motorcade left Basti and come back to Basti, stinking, nasty Basti, litter all over the place. We cannot afford to continue this. And I am calling on the new administration to make sure that they implement policies to make this nastiness be no more in our midst.
All right, sir.
You know?
Much appreciated.
So give thanks to the time, my brother.
Definitely, much appreciated. We love that contribution, and you're in agreement with what he said?
Very much so.
Okay, 6620989 gets you in on the conversation. 4660989 also, and the lines are open for calls from our many contributors. Sorry. In the meantime, have you seen the clip by Akil David?
No.
Have you heard about it?
No.
This is a guy who supposed to be this billionaire cannabis. He came in here some time ago. Let's go to phone lines. Call your live on voices.
Good morning, the King.
Good morning, sir. How about
I'm doing great. And good morning to Joe in New York.
New York, Joe. He's here.
From New York.
Good morning.
Joe from Sadler's Boys here with us.
The King, quickly.
Yes, sir.
You know, I really want to talk about our election, but I'm going to put that on pause just to the fact that you have Joe from New York in the studio. This is Journey here.
Yes, Journey.
Joe, I want to take you back to 1994, and let me say good morning to all listening to me. Joe, as you just came down from New York, I know you reside in New York. I want to take you back to 1994 when the president, who was then a senator, drafted into House the crime bill in 1994 along with Bobby Rush. Now, I know our people are in the hype of our election, and I apologize, the King, to you, but I have to get this to Joe because he is up there. Now, Bobby Rush was asked how he felt about that bill that was drafted in 1994 that incarcerated so many of our African brothers. And he said that he regretted it. Recently, the president was asked that question, and he said, no, he don't regret that bill that had his signature to it. Now, I'm going to take you back to, I think it was 2021, I think, somewhere there where 6 Asians was gunned down in Atlanta. And just before that, when the president said, well, he was campaigning towards the black community in America, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Now, after all of that, he went and he signed a bill in flying colors to protect Asians in less than a year from crime bill. I'm saying this to you, Joe. No, a lot of things are happening on the world stage that we are not paying attention to. And for instance, I'm referring to Secretary of State Blinken, who was in South Africa and met with Madam Grace Mandisa, who is a South African politician. Now, what is happening in South Africa, as you and I are aware, that Europeans are bullying South Africans to take side. The European leaders are bullying South Africans to take side. Now, I have stated before, since this war broke out, that we as Africans should be spectators in this war. We should be spectators in this war. This is their war. Now, Blinken was in South Africa, and as much as he said that America is not putting a choice to the South African leaders, it is pathetic for us to think that this is not his message and his rhetoric. So, Joe, I want you to tell me what the feeling in all that I've just lined out to you, from the president to Blinken and all that is taking place before our eyes. What is the black community? What's the feeling of the black community in all of this? Because I'm talking to you and I am on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm asking the black community, whoever see my post, let these things sink in. What the president said to the black community about if they don't vote for him, they're not black. And also Kamala Harris, because we have seen the president welcome Afghanistan, who were fleeing with open arms on red carpet, and he hugged them. The Haitians, they were whipped in Texas by horsemen. So let me know if you have any information as to where Kamala Harris stands on all of this and what the black community in America feels in all of this.
Let me tell
Thank you for
you,
hearing me.
I like the way you stress black, and let me go back to the crime bill that was done in 1994. A lot of black folks don't understand certain things because the majority of blacks and Hispanic were actually incarcerated because of the crime bill. But what happened is crime was so rampant in the black community that the housing development, the projects leaders and everybody got together, went to Congress and asked Congress to pass this bill to put these guys away because they are destroying the black community. As a result, that crime bill was passed. But it's actually black people who wanted that crime bill to pass. But, it actually, so therefore, if you get caught with some amount of crack, you get put away for, I think it's 3 strikes and you're out. 3 strikes you're out. Yeah, Bill Clinton, right? So it actually affect black folks because it's the crack dealers, right? But the cocaine guys are still getting the slap on the wrist.
Of course.
You understand? No. Some of these people that's destroying, I have friends that went gone to jail for life for that too. Customers are not friends. So sometimes we can't look at black and brown, but we as black people should actually unite.
A call still there? Okay, we have to take a next call. Okay, caller 11 Voices.
Hello, good day.
Yes, welcome to the program.
I'm Lincoln David Pell.
Yes, sir, how are you? Welcome, sir. You were here last Friday, I think it was. Anyway, welcome back to the program. The candidate from number 8, number 7 actually.
Right. 7, yes. I just called in at this time. I was trying to do it at an earlier time, but couldn't get to it. Just to thank everyone who voted for me in Constituency 7. And I just want to say also thank you very much for God in the first place for giving me the opportunity, and for Sean K. Richards for giving me the opportunity, and executive to give me the opportunity to represent our country, and at the same time constituency number 7, which is where I represented. I just also want to congratulate our political leader, Sean K. Richards, on his victory, and Matt Brantley Nevis and his team, our colleagues, and also the Labour Party, and also Timothy Harris, who would have won his seat as well.
Splendid.
I just want to say I hope our new government will govern for the entire country. And for me, as what I was campaigning on, is for one thing I would want to get done as early as possible is the Millennium Primary School gets started out. So I hope that someone is listening and to actually deal with the primary school so we could have our children going back to school in that building as soon as possible. And I just want to say thanks for all the persons who participated, because throughout my campaign, as you will know, I would keep asking for peace. You would have gotten peace, and peace is still there. So God is good for us all the time.
Beautiful.
And then don't be disheartened for those of you who are the persons who voted for me. We might have lost the battle, as they say, but we have won the war. Because you know what? My message resonated. And you realize, think it's needed as a dream. And since the election, persons would have thanked me very much for reminding them and letting them recognize we have a dream just like every country.
Okay, sir.
But even though I'm not in government, I just want to say to everyone, let us look at this carefully and let us build our country.
Thank
Thanks
you.
and it belongs to all of us and we have dreams.
Thank you, sir.
And I just want to say I've been listening to the program, what is being said.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I'm not sure how many times I will have, so I will have to come back and call in. What some of the friends are asking for about even persons who is not a part of the party that won. Remember, we had a unity government, so that is what they're calling for again. For even persons who are not a part of Labour to be a part of government. We're looking at now a national unity government. So that's something to talk about what they're asking for.
Okay.
You know, because in elections, you must have a winner, you must have a loser. And then, as we normally say, even when we were talking about it, some person were talking about an opposition is essential. So if they want person to come inside there, you realize what happened now. You no longer have an opposition. So that's something for persons to think about. I just wanted to mention that. But I just want to say thank God for the victory he will give me into winning the heart and mind of the people. And for sure, we will continue to rise, and we'll be, as we go along more, you will hear some more what I have to say. But I just wanted to get that in to say thank you very much to all the constituents in Angle number 7 who voted and didn't vote for me, and all the persons in St. Nevis who maintain peace throughout the entire process.
Mr. Bell, thank you much for the contribution.
Peace to do so.
We appreciate that.
Say God bless all of us, and may God continue to bless St. Nevis.
Okay, thank you very much. We got to go to Caesar and give him his due, and we'll be right back, and we'll let you, Mr. New York Joe, take it from there, okay? We partner for word from sponsors.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
$11:50 in the studios of WINNFM 98.9, and you're logged on to another episode of Voices. We have with us for the next 10 minutes or so New York Joe in the house. So glad to have you here. And the phone lines are open, but we would like to hear your assessment of things as you were given earlier. Let's take this caller, and then we're going to hold because we want his caller 11 Voices.
Yes. The king, I think you said something a while ago, dear, which I hope I heard you say, is that Pam won 6 seats, I don't know the year, and they was able to form the government on their own. I don't know if...
I didn't say that. You misunderstood me.
Huh?
You would have misunderstood me. I never said that.
No, I was wondering if that's what you said.
No.
Oh, okay. Because Pam did form the government on their own. So I can't remember the year, but
yeah,
they formed the government on their own.
That is true.
Yeah.
But the initial stage was also strong of a coalition.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at least they could have formed the government on their own because they had 6 seats.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, thank you very much, man.
Much welcomed. New York Joe.
Yes, I want to, Africa, black people, I want to just touch on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Young man was talking about it earlier, about Hillary went down to South Africa and stuff like that, but the person who actually destroyed Africa happened to be a young lady named Susan Rice. She happened to be black.
Yep.
She worked under the Clinton administration.
She was
at the United Nations, right? But before that, she was the envoy to Africa. She's the one that actually helped destroy all the elected leaders in Africa. A black woman did that. Also, I want to say that the lands in Zimbabwe that was given back to the black owners, where the white man stole in Zimbabwe.
Mugabe.
The black folks actually won the land back. The white folks got a black attorney, took the case to Namibia, and actually tried the case in Namibia. And you got a black woman who's a lawyer saying that these white folks are discriminated against, and it's racism. A white woman. I'm saying this. I'm saying this to say, right? These are the people we need to get out of our community. Ostracize them, first and foremost, because they are out. They destroy us for the white man. Now, in New York, what we start doing in New York is teach black folks entrepreneurship. And I said it before in a forum in St. Kitts Forum in New York before. What I used to do for SABRA, which is a state-funded program, I teach in 4 hours what college teach you in 4 years.
Take a call. Call still there?
Okay, they go to phones.
Caller, are you there? Good caller, you live on Voices? Mr. Caller, okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so what we need to do is teach entrepreneurship amongst ourselves, keep our economics amongst ourselves, and that will strengthen us. You understand? Now we have Chinese coming in saying it's an opening shop. You understand? We know the deal. We know the deal. Okay, why are we supporting
Take the call.
blacks?
Take the call. Caller, you live on Voices?
Pleasant morning to you. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling in on good day, Joe.
Good day, good day.
And the King.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on the part that Pam never formed a government on its own. The premise is sort of right, in a sense, meaning because the circumstance behind them forming the government on their own was still off of the backs of, because there was no official split between them and the NRP, right? So remember as well, they never went into, only with Team Unity, parties went into election pretty much officially as a team, right? But when PAM formed a government on their own, it was pretty much still off of the backs of
NRP.
The coalition they had with Nevis as well. They didn't need the Nevis votes at the end of the day. But what I'm saying, the atmosphere was still as such. So
they were able to build on the momentum, the foundation. That's what you're saying.
Still, you know? But as far as without being an incumbent, just out of government, Pam has never entered an election and could form a government on their own.
Okay, point taken. Got your point. Based on that, he's right, but we're mindful of the time. So, Richie, thanks for your contribution. Joe?
And the question is why? Because they cannot organize and they need to learn to listen. The bottom line is, you need to take a page out of Labour book. I mean, Labour could be in opposition and they're still going. Pam need to take a page out of the book. Pam sit back and lay and think that everything will be.
I have my assessment, but we don't have the time.
I understand
right.
I know you have your assessment, but the bottom line is what's going on in Pam right now is very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. And I'm not afraid of nobody. I speak it like I see it. Who want to get mad at me? Get mad at me. Tough.
Well, you raised two very good points that they never consulted you. You were one of the person instrumental in organizing flights to come down. There were not flights come. Nobody contacted you. That has to be looked at.
But PLP called me.
PLP called you.
Figure that one out. All right. PLP called me. Did they call me? No. Did they call anybody up there? No. They had one little. I think after I criticized the fact that they didn't be in contact with us, somebody went to make a phone call. They tried to have a Facebook. A Zoom meeting or whatever. I didn't join it.
At that point, okay.
I did not join it.
New York, George in the house, and I hail you up. You're here in the studio. You're here in the studio. We have a good rapport. We always had that, and I'm glad that you were able to come in and join us. We have, about 2 minutes before we wrap things up, so talk to your people.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not going to talk to them. If they want to talk to me, they call me.
No. Talk to your people. You have an audience in New York.
Oh,
talk to your people. I'm not saying talk to any party, your people in general.
No. I speak to them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I speak to them, I get back the same feedback as you talk to even these down here, which means they're not understanding. I'm making an attempt to do a members club in New York with PAM USA, where by the time election come, you have enough money in the kitty for everybody to buy a ticket and send them everybody to vote. Nobody listen to me. They knock that down. You understand? I'm trying to show them.
I hope they listen now.
No, they listen. Listen, it's easy work for me. You know? It's better for me because that's work. If they didn't consult me, they don't want me to do nothing, fine by me.
Yes,
it's
son of the soil.
Less for me to do.
And you have not gone out there and said, well, I'm New York Joe, I want to stay out here. You still keep an interest and abreast of what's happening at home. That's very, very commendable.
I'm here, and for those of you who always curse us that say we're gone away and don't look back and think it, you see, I'm not like that. But then when we talk and get involved, we say, oh, you live over there, worrying about doing yourself. Listen, I'm here, St. Kitts first. That's the bottom line.
And you didn't fly down to vote.
No.
You came down for your daughter's wedding.
You understand? I bring 140-something people. You understand? It would have been easy to organize 140 people for PAM.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody called me, so be it. I mean, what are we going to do?
It is regrettable because of the role you've played in the party, supportive, advising, etc., and you were not consulted. So it is what it is. Every action has a reaction, and I would think that in the post-mortem going forward, your contribution, what you had to say, will be taken as part of, hey, we didn't do this, we didn't dot all our I's, cross our T's, we have to go back to the basics.
Hey, and if they call me, ask me my perception, you put PLP, PAM, CCM back together. Team unity was the best thing ever for St. Kitts.
I want to wish you safe travels.
Thank you, appreciate that.
When you get home, I'm back on Friday. I'm back on Friday, because really, right?
Yes.
Give me a shout.
Once I'm not busy, because sometimes I get so busy I can't stand the phone.
Right?
You know what I mean?
How's the fishing?
Well, everything going good. I went over 2 weeks ago, and trust me.
Beautiful. We want to say goodbye to New York Joe. He's leaving us today. We want to wish him safe travels. And we want to thank all the viewers and listeners who were part of this morning discussion. We hope to hear back from some of you after the midday newscast, which we break for right now. It's been a pleasure so far. See you after the news break.
Thank you.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Buster, pour it up, need the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, bust the other colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that what we like. Bust and you're full of vibes, living full color, and I'm black and white. We do what we like, we live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up. If you have one, hold it up and say, bust the other colors in my life.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission.
Do Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The St. Kitts and Nevis Solid Waste Management, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We are encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans, ready for an opportunity to win big. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every second and fourth Tuesday each month at the following locations in St. Kitts: the Connery Roundabout, every first and third Tuesday at Buckley's parking lot in front of Best Buy, and the last Saturday of each month in Deep Bay. In Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, Ex-Petrol in Camps, Big Six in Gingerland, and Old Artisan Village in Charlestown. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottle, flatware set, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
With the WIN Headline News, I am Kevon Brown. Making the headlines, swearing in of new cabinet and unveiling of ministerial portfolios set for August 13th. In Jamaica, Lisa Hanna is leaving representational politics after a 15-year career. Internationally, the United Nations Children Agency estimates 1.1 million Afghan children under the age of 5 are expected to suffer from severe malnutrition in 2022. Now, the details.
Think
before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We're encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans ready for an opportunity to win big. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the following locations: in Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, Ex-Petrol in Camps, Big Six in Gingerland, and the Old Artisan Village in Charlestown. In St. Kitts, every second and fourth Tuesday at the Connery Roundabout, every first and third Tuesday at Buckley's parking lot in front of Best Buy, and the last Saturday of each month in Deep Bay. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottles, flatware, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. So think smart. Take PAT, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With the WIN headline news, I am Kevon Brown. Making the headlines, regional leaders offer congratulations to St. Kitts and Nevis's new Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Terence Drew. Swearing in of new cabinet and unveiling of ministerial portfolios set for August 13th. In Jamaica, Lisa Hanna is leaving representational politics after a 15-year career. Internationally, the United Nations Children Agency estimates 1.1 million Afghan children under the age of 5 are expected to suffer from severe malnutrition in 2022. Now, the details. Following his swearing-in ceremony as the fourth Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Terence Drew received congratulatory messages from several regional leaders. Jamaica's Prime Minister, the Honorable Andrew Holness, said Prime Minister Drew's win was a testament to the confidence reposed in him by the people of the Federation. Holness also said he looked forward to deepening ties with St. Kitts and Nevis. Premier of Montserrat, the Honorable Joseph Farrell, shared that it was his pleasure to congratulate Dr. Drew and the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party on their decisive victory. Premier Farrell said, quote, "I wish to assure you of the continued friendship and support of the government and people of Montserrat as you and your government work tirelessly for the progress and prosperity of your people and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis," end quote. Director General of the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States, Dr. Didicus Jules, also congratulated Dr. Drew, reminding him that, quote, "Your leadership comes at a time of immense global uncertainty. This resulting from, among other phenomena, the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, and more recently the war in Ukraine, which has triggered supply chain disruptions and a surge in commodity prices globally. The Commission is aware of the economic impacts of these crises, particularly on the small and vulnerable states of the OECS, and the actions which must be taken to mitigate the impacts. In that regard, the Commission and its staff remain highly committed to providing support to St. Kitts and Nevis in efforts to address these and other related challenges. I look forward to the prospect of working with you in your capacity as Prime Minister and as a member of the authority of the OECS to jointly shape and implement policies and strategies for the realization of a more prosperous and sustainable future for our region." End quote. Other congratulatory messages came from the President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro Moras, and the President and Vice President of Nicaragua, President His Excellency Daniel Ortega Saavedra, and the First Lady and Vice President, Her Excellency Rosario Murillo. Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew officially began work as the country's new leader on August 9th following the general election in the Federation, where the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party won 6 of 11 seats. The Prime Minister and members of his cabinet began their first working day with a tour of the Office of the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister's meeting room and the Cabinet meeting room. Along with the Prime Minister, the cabinet so far is made up of Dr. the Honourable Jeffrey Hanley, the Honourable Marcia Henderson, the Honourable Connors Maynard, the Honourable Samuel Duggins, and the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas. According to the Government Information Service, the swearing-in of the cabinet ministers and the unveiling of ministerial portfolios will take place on Saturday, August 13th, during a ceremony held at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium at 4:30 p.m. In regional news, in Jamaica, Lisa Hanna is leaving representational politics after a 15-year career. Television Jamaica has more.
Up first this evening, Member of Parliament Lisa Hanna has signaled her intention to resign from representational politics after 15 years of service. In a letter to opposition leader and president of the People's National Party, Marco Golding, this afternoon, Ms. Hanna said she will not be offering herself as a candidate for the PNP in the next general election. Kelisha Williams has our story.
The statement with the subject, Lisa Hanna leaving representational politics, sent shockwaves throughout the country Tuesday afternoon. It said Lisa Hanna has signaled her intention to leave representational politics and has advised the opposition leader and president of the People's National Party, PNP, Mark Golding, that she will not be offering herself as candidate for the PNP when the next general election is called. The statement also said that a resignation letter was sent to Mr. Golding. The St. Anne Southeastern Member of Parliament stressed that the early notice of her resignation will give constituency delegates enough time to select a new candidate, which is their constitutional right. She has served as MP since 2007 and retained the seat by a narrow 32 votes in 2020 when the JLP secured a landslide victory in the general election. As for her role as opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs and foreign trade, Ms. Hanna told Mr. Golding that she remains available to serve at his consideration. She also used the opportunity to reflect on her life in politics over the past 15 years. She said, "I have found this experience quite satisfying. It allowed me the privilege to serve as an elected member of parliament, cabinet minister on the national scene, and at the party level as regional chairman and treasurer." In 2020, Ms. Hanna failed in her bid to become president of the People's National Party. Now, her notice of resignation came 24 hours after this video was posted on her social media page. In that video, she expressed gratitude to former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, who invited her to join the PNP.
I was reflecting recently on some of the best advice that she gave me, and one of the best pieces of advice she gave me when I was walking to Parliament for the first time was, "Like a girl, don't make them see a ball. Don't give them the credit, don't give them the satisfaction to know that they have unraveled you." Remember that, and I will never forget that.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
We now bring you these international reports.
After decades of Western intervention, war, and instability, a year after the Taliban took over, more and more of Afghanistan's children are going to bed hungry every day.
It is a fact that misery and poverty is increasing in our country day by day. The higher the poverty rates, the more malnutrition cases there are.
Malnutrition in the impoverished nation was always a problem. Since the U.S. pullout, international humanitarian aid has dried up. UNICEF estimates the number of malnourished Afghan children has doubled in the past year.
We are so upset. We feel depressed. My husband even said he wants to go to Iran to look for work because he feels ashamed that he can't afford to buy him medicine or milk. He said, "My son is dying in front of my eyes, but I am not capable of doing anything."
Hardships for some of the most vulnerable Afghans began even before they were born.
I didn't have enough to eat during pregnancy. I couldn't buy the medicines I needed. That is why my child is now malnourished and I have no money to treat my child in a better way.
He hasn't been well since he was born. He is always sick. We do not have enough money to buy him medicines and treat him properly somewhere better.
Following what amounted to a defeat at the hands of the Taliban, world powers introduced punitive policies towards the new government, isolating Afghanistan financially, crippling its economy, and weakening the people. The world, Afghans say, has turned its back on the most vulnerable victims of conflict. Some too weak to keep crying for help. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera.
Now, a day after Donald Trump condemned the search of his home in Florida by FBI agents, he's released a slick campaign-style video that analysts say is the strongest hint yet he intends to run for president in 2024. Several leading Republicans have joined in his accusations that he was the victim of a Democrat-led witch hunt. Chichi Izundu reports from Florida.
Last night, dinner with about a dozen House of Republican members, a show of solidarity from Donald Trump's party. Unprecedented is how this is being described because no other United States of America president has had their home searched by the FBI. Whilst he wasn't here at Mar-a-Lago and had nothing to say to the cameras, Donald Trump took the time to express exactly how he felt in a lengthy statement, calling the presence of FBI agents in his house a raid, a siege of his home, not necessary or appropriate, and condemned the process as prosecutorial misconduct.
Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's primary residence and where the FBI executed its search warrant. To my left are Trump supporters who are here to vocalise their support for Donald Trump and his potential to run for president in 2024.
The American people are awake. We are not woke. We are awake. We know what's going on. It was a fishing expedition.
We have to stand up for our rights and our freedoms because they're being eroded.
And you know what?
What the FBI were looking for, they haven't detailed. But according to Eric Trump, it's related to the removal of official documents from the White House after his father left the office.
We are a nation in decline.
Never one to miss an opportunity, this news useful for Trump to push his supporters for more donations. This search has continued to fan the flames of division, with the Democrats saying that no one is above the law and the Republicans branding it political. Come November, though, voters will be heading back to the polls for the midterm elections, and there are murmurs that this action by the FBI could, in fact, have actually boosted support for Donald Trump. Chichi Zindu, BBC News.
Vote counting was underway after Kenya's presidential election, with preliminary results showing a tight race between the two main candidates. Deputy President William Ruto and veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga are vying to replace President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is stepping down after reaching his two-term limit. Tuesday's election is seen as an important test for stability in East Africa's biggest economy. Two of the last three elections led to bloodshed and accusations of vote rigging. Tuesday's polls were largely peaceful. Kenyans say they hope it remains that way.
I'm seeing everything is going on well, and we want just peace to prevail in this particular area because it was treated as a hotspot, and we don't want such kind of a thing. And what we want to say is that whoever will win, let him carry the baton. It's a relay game.
However, voter turnout was low. The Election Commission said it believed about 60% of the 22.1 million registered voters cast ballots. In 2017's election, turnout was nearly 80%. Millions of Kenyans chose not to vote. The Commission had hoped to sign up to 6 million, but got less than half of that. Former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete is in the capital Nairobi as an election observer.
I cannot ramble about turnout. You cannot push the CTS to come. That's your pastime now, not mine. Mine is they've been allowed to vote. Nobody was restricted, prevented from voting. The process was calm, peaceful, orderly. So if somebody has chosen not to exercise his or her right to elect their leader, well.
Several factors, including drought and voter frustration, have been blamed for the low turnout. The final result is expected in days, although legally it has up to a week.
You were listening to the WINNFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were: regional leaders offer congratulations to St. Kitts and Nevis's new Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Terence Drew. Swearing in of new cabinet and unveiling of ministerial portfolios set for August 13th. In Jamaica, Lisa Hanna is leaving representational politics after a 15-year career. Internationally, the United Nations Children Agency estimates 1.1 million Afghan children under the age of 5 are expected to suffer from severe malnutrition in 2022. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tilly Wall with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The St. Kitts and Nevis Solid Waste Management, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We are encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans, ready for an opportunity to win big. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every second and fourth Tuesday each month at the following locations in St. Kitts: the Connery Roundabout, every first and and third Tuesday at Buckley's parking lot in front of Best Buy, and the last Saturday of each month in Date Bay. In Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, Ex-Petrol in Camps, Big Six in Gingerland, and Old Artisan Village in Charlestown. But wait, that's not all. £1 equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottle, flatware set, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
It's that time of the year again. The time when Horsewood Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in cash back for free groceries with every FlexPlay purchase. Never-ending cash back for the past 25 years. SL Horsewood and Company Limited, Horsewood Furniture and Appliances Showroom, Ashley Furniture Home Store, in collaboration with Value Mart IGA, has given customers millions of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cash back. Yes, the Horsewood's cash back free groceries annual program and promotion is the biggest and longest running of its kind in the Federation. Come today and get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase. The never-ending cashback is back at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Home Store, where you get cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service. It's the never-ending cashback. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply.
Good afternoon to our viewers and listeners. Welcome to the second half of today's segment of Voices. My name is Socrates, host of the program today. And before the break for the midday newscast, you would have had as a guest for the first half of the program this morning. In the studio with us, New York Joe. And he was giving a breakdown and an assessment of some of the elements that would have impacted the elections. And we've had a call or two. We have a caller who was inquiring, could I get him back to be here for this second half? The fact is that the gentleman is traveling today, and we know around what time the planes leave for New York. So we are happy to have had him in. He is, or was, probably is still the vice president of PAM USA, one of the persons who's a strategist, organizer of the flights coming into St. Kitts for PAM. And he gave us quite an insight as to how things would have worked, how things should have worked, why things didn't work the way they did. And, get a better understanding according to what he shared with us today. We would have had a call from Mr. Lincoln David Pell. He made his contribution also to the program. And he spoke to the fact that one of the things that he wanted most of all was for us to have a peaceful election. He thanked the people for their conduct, their behavior during the process, after the process, during the celebratory phase. People are still celebrating. But we're at the phase now where we now have to take our victories, take our losses, settle down, and go about the business of making sure that St. Kitts Nevis be the best place in the world. I did a song which I entitled Double Slice. We are indeed a double slice of paradise. And we have this gem that we have to do all that we can to protect and preserve. We want to hear about, we don't want to hear, but when we hear about violence in elections and this and that, let it be from some other territory, not St. Kitts. I'm very, very happy for that. There were those who were apprehensive. I didn't have any real fear that we'd reach that level. People's emotions sometimes get off the point where they get overexcited. We've seen a few accidents during the motorcade. We've seen one or two on Old Road Bay, and those are unfortunate. But generally, we are in a very stable democracy, and we want to maintain that. We now go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, the King. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. You would have heard me mention the gentleman have to travel today.
Yes, I heard you.
Beautiful. So, your call this morning, you got your responses. Speak to that if you can, please.
Well, before I go there, just let me say my intake on the election. I want to congratulate the Labour Party, that one, and I'm very impressed with the stand that our new elected Prime Minister has taken. And what was staggering for me is when I think, it's the first time I really seen it because someone sent me the clip, the swearing in, and I think it was the judge who read, I don't know what you call it, when the judge read and he repeats everything.
The swearing in ceremony.
Right, okay. When he swear allegiance to the Queen, the King, my whole body dropped. I was like, I went into a weeping.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went into a weeping mode. And from what I observe is that Prime Minister-elect Jew, he was a bit apprehensive when it came to that. That was my observation. Now, the fact that he's following protocol, I hope that going forward he would. Now, I'm choosing a word. I hope he would just abandon that whole residue. The residue, I refer to it as the residue of the dying world. Let me repeat this. I refer to that as the residue of a dying world order. And me and Motley have taken that stand, and I have called on our then Prime Minister Tim to pattern Mia Mottley. So I'm hoping that Dr. Jew, if he's listening, my observation was that I noticed that he was apprehensive. There was a bit of a stall there when that was read for him to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I've been saying all along the king. I've said before the election that we have to ask ourselves, whose narrative then Prime Minister was upholding? We have to create our own narratives. We have to set our own agendas as a body of people. Because believe it or not, the king, I have so much to talk about. I want to talk about genetic defects. But, as time goes on. But, I think we need to start to look within ourselves. Now, Joe mentioned Susan Rice and all that she did in South Africa. I'm fully aware of Susan Rice. But isn't that a pattern that we need to break away from? Are we not supposed to start to analyze ourselves?
He made those points because you kept saying black people. So he was trying to point out to you how instrumental those very same black people are in preventing the advancement of our best interest.
Well, you see, yes, I accept what Joe was saying, and I'm saying it's a pattern, and this same pattern is in the scriptures. Now, when you look at Judas betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of silver, Obama, in my opinion, was used to get rid of Gaddafi. We know the hands of our own people who took out Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and we know the CIA was behind it. So we now need to start to look within ourselves. Ras Ichut mentioned unity. Haven't I been calling for unity before this election?
Yes,
and
we
all
have.
the theatrics that was playing out in our local
What do you see as your greatest challenge? When you call for unity and you don't get the response, what do you see as your greatest challenge or challenges?
Well, you see, the unity that we need has to come with education. Because
Perfect.
everything that we have in the narrative of the colonizers is a lie. Sorry. It's a lie, the king. Even what we have in the scripture, now don't get me wrong, because the scriptures, there are principles in the scripture, but even the Jesus that they gave us is contaminated. Let me repeat this. The Jesus story that they gave us is contaminated. And I am begging our people, if we are reading from a version, apply yourself to the original. Because as much as they told us that Jesus was so great, and all that he did, he raised the dead. Did he take them back with him to heaven? You ask any Christian today, where is heaven? They're going to tell you heaven is in the sky. Really? Man, the truth is hidden in plain sight, and we need to raise our consciousness. The king, I'm going to finish now just for other people to get in. This thing about killing, wars, and all of that, I have stated before that those who have mastered the art of war cannot be for peace. The scripture tells us that nation will rise against nation. Well, I say Satan is against Satan today with this war with Ukraine and Russia, and America is deep into it. So let them hurry up, consume themselves, because the New World Order, as said, no one put new wine in old bottles. The scriptures are there for us to analyze. And we must apply our reality with the scriptures and let us change the dynamics. I'm sorry, the word is escaping me.
Dynamics.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have to change it, the king. Unity, they divided us and it worked for them. Our unity along with education into our history, our story, then we will be liberated from this.
Are we speaking about starting at the primary school levels? Because the re-education of a people, you have to target the next generation.
Let me say this, the king. Even in the dead, we can communicate with them, because many of our foreparents died in this misery of Christianity in the white man narrative. How can one who raped and murdered come around and give us salvation in their own narrative. Let us start thinking. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you for your contribution. That's Journey, very Afrocentric, very passionate about the advancement of his people. And there are times when people don't agree with the way he presents, but I understand the passion of the young man, and not so young man, as it stands. And we go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good afternoon. Socrates, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. How are you?
Oh, you survive.
Yes, of course. If anyone, whatever, don't have the power to cut my oxygen, I'm not worried. They do not supply my oxygen. So whatever the circumstance, I get up, I give praise, I thanks, I assess my day, my options,
God is in
and I
control,
move forward. Definitely.
And as you say, every experience should be a learning one.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to shout at my good friend Joe.
Yeah.
We used to be Facebook friends when I was on Facebook, you know.
Uh-huh. Well, he promised to be listening, so he's probably hearing you as you speak.
Yes, Joe, wish you all the best.
Mm-hmm.
And your daughter's wedding and everything.
Yep.
And I like what he said. And I hope the leaders or the policymakers in the PAM party listen and take advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing for human beings find hard to do, eh? And I said it, I said, look, the Labour Party depend on the overseas votes to get them over.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you cannot compete with them in terms of the numbers of the overseas, you're done for.
He said
He
said the Labour Party brought in 4 flights. Pam didn't bring in 1.
That's what I mean. But I heard there were 7.
7? Well, he said 4. I don't have the facts, eh?
Well, it don't matter to me. The point is this. Because when you listen to some of the votes that some of the new ones got, you could clearly see the impact of the overseas voters there. No doubt about it. In 2. Well, I mean, 1 got their share. The one that came in late was enough to get others over the hump. And you ask the question, how will we always continue to depend on the overseas votes? Because that is the question that they were trying to think, Sometime before they were trying to set the residency.
Requirements.
The criteria for residency, you remember?
Yes. And my understanding was that Brantley was not in favor because he felt that the overseas vote did not favor him. So he put. I actually heard Astro.
He wasn't about to dig his own grave,
Right.
But I suppose the other party felt they could
capitalize.
Yes. Anyway, you were going to comment on a post about the same gentleman who came here with the drugs the other day, not drugs.
Yeah,
he wanted to start the cannabis industry. You remember?
Yes, of course.
Dr. Douglas brought him either shortly after or before the bill was passed. And of course, the gentleman was quite
disrespectful.
Yes. I mean, I suppose he figured that, well, our country is a small country, poor country, so he could say and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard somebody saying he's back at it.
Yes, there are a couple of clips out of him.
I want to know, I am asking the question this afternoon. Is Dr. Terence Joe going to allow this gentleman to come back here with the same attitude and with the same project because they're balling for foreign direct investment? You don't take investment at the price of your dignity. And the Rastas have been saying they have been the ones who have suffered police abuse, all kind of abuse. And they are the ones who should be given priority in starting the ganja business. So, are they planning to come back again?
Well, he said he's coming back. But he wants to come down with a rope, of all things, and bind Timothy, get some big guys to hold him because he's big and fat, and drag him behind the whole thing of the rope, the subconscious racist mentality. You want to come down here and hold a national.
I mean,
nonetheless, a former prime minister, you're out of order. So my thing is,
he should be stopped at the airport.
No. Before we go there, the condemnation of this thing across the board from all the leaders.
Of course.
That's what I'm looking for.
Because today is Timothy, tomorrow is Terence Drew.
I am not. I don't want to start with saying, well, Dr. Drews got elected and we're trying to criticize. I'm saying all the leaders.
Out of order.
Condemn that right away. Send a strong message. You're out of order, disrespectful. And for you to feel empowered.
This is when we go out there and sell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when Denmark sold the USBI with the people on it in 1917.
I'm not that familiar, but I know that it was bought by Denmark.
Yeah,
sold to the US.
With the people on it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand what I want to hear the response, because a few people saying, oh, let the man come in. How often have we been at the bottom end? Oh, you're going to get employment, so we're going to pick the bush.
If we are the proud people that we claim to be, we should not countenance anything like that.
No. I mean, I was offended by the very idea that even before our people be given a chance to start the industry, you're bringing in somebody who have millions and billions, who see us as just agriculture workers. So we gone from sugar to ganja, and we don't even own
portion of
so
land.
I hope Dr. Terence Drew, Dr. Denzel Douglas, who brought the man here, who brought the men here, I hope we don't encourage him to allow the man to come back in with these. Because if he's so disrespectful to our past leader, whatever we think about him, he was our leader, our prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
Let him keep his disdain to himself. Because, you see, when it starts like that, if he start disrespecting from the head, he can kick around those down below.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea I find so repulsive. Good afternoon, Journey. Keep walking.
Do you guys connect by phone?
Eh?
Were you able to connect by phone?
Oh, yes, we spoke.
Beautiful.
We spoke. I think twice we spoke,
Beautiful.
I enjoy talking to him, because I have to point out, give him some Bible lessons,
Beautiful.
His intentions are good, that he has been misled. In his desire to, and I'm glad,
Still a work in progress.
Joe gave him the background to the thing, because sometimes we think, they have a song say, every black man is not your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And every white man is not your enemy. So let him keep. I usually look up what he say and whatever, but I realize the anger from which he's coming, and I tell him he must learn to present his information in a more positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So because Joe said we need to build up our own business and stuff.
Correct.
It don't make no sense about him, but what I do is. What are we doing?
We see it playing out every day here in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
We know how the small mom and pop business went under. And we are complicit in that.
Of course.
We the consumers are complicit.
And our leaders, Our leaders are in boarding. Oh, and we're going to get foreign direct investment. What kind? What do we own? I think it's in Bahamas and some other countries. Some local person have to own at least whether 49 or 51%.
It used to be 51% here in St. Kitts.
You understand?
It used to be 51%.
Foreign direct investment, and you ain't own anything.
But then it was Dr. Douglas who told the National that the folks who built on the Bay Road are citizens.
He told me, so it wasn't me asked him the question, you know.
Okay, there you go.
I was the one who asked him on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
He told me they're not foreigners, they're citizens. well, that color citizens take over our country. Remember you had the air conditioning thing, right?
Oh, yes.
They came in as sellers of air conditioning.
They got a big
Next
government
thing
contract.
they undercut our technicians who were installing air conditioners because they brought them in bulk. And they're now installing them and maintaining them. So everywhere you turn, you know, you don't hear about this electronics and that electronics. Our people who had small electronics stores selling phones and so. They undercut us. Why they undercut us? Oh, they registered being on the duty free, right?
Yep.
But they're selling everybody. You understand? And I am not sure that they're collecting the 17%. But our governments, all of them, tax the daylight out of our own people.
You remember
the
the song?
amount of exemptions that we give. It hurt. We got to pay house and land tax, this tax, that tax. You know what I mean? And these people come in, ask them what. Oh, they bring jobs. Well, they have always been jobs in this country. Jobs under slavery, jobs in the sugar industry, and so our people went in, so they came out, hand to mouth. Hand to mouth. How many persons over in these hotels earn enough to put up a house rather than have to depend on NHC? Ask the question, how many of the workers are able to use their earnings to send their children to university? No, they still got to depend on the government.
Let's hope that the new leadership is conscious of this and put the programs in place to elevate our peoples, right?
Well, I pray so, but I don't really hope so. Because this philosophy, you hear them chanting it. Where's Mr. McMahon?
He's going to call.
I want to hear you.
I do have to go to a station break, but I'm hoping that he calls before the day is done because
Yes,
I do
I
love
want him to
engaging
call
with him,
now.
right? Okay.
Suppose he can get swearing.
Okay.
That's troubling him.
All right. Thank you
All
for
right,
that
God bless you.
contribution as we now go to pay some respect to our sponsors.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IG Value Club Blue Tag specials from July 28th through August 10th. Nature Valley Protein Bars, $14.99. Essential Everyday Croutons, just $5.99. Almond Breeze Almond Milk, $8.99. No side dishes, $7.99. Essential Everyday Steamable Vegetables, $6.99 each. Stone Ridge Ice Cream Bars, $15.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Malta Meal Cereals, just $13.99 each. Tide Liquid Detergent, $36.99. Sunny Delight Smooth and Tangy, $5.99. Ed Shaving Gel, $13.99. Essential Everyday Shredded and Chunk Cheeses, $7.99. And Essential Everyday Pasta, just $4.49. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices, and we are going to go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Good day, Socrates. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yourself?
Okay. I'm blessed in Jesus' name. So I'm calling in the name of Jesus Christ, who is the only Savior of sinners, from their sins and from hell, and who is the second person of the eternal Trinity.
Amen to that.
Now, first of all, I would like to say, concerning Journey, a few things that he has said. I never have ever really heard any Christians say heaven in the sky. I know the Bible says heaven is upward, but that is just a metaphor for saying that heaven is in a different dimension that is higher and much better than ours that we exist in.
Okay.
Because the Bible uses figurative language, but a lot of people, including Johnny, does not know much about that.
So
Also
caught up to meet him in the air doesn't necessarily mean the sky. Is that what you're saying?
Right. It's just when it's up, it's just simply a figurative way of saying heaven is in a different dimension that is on a far better plane than ours. You know, it's just figurative language. Now, when you say Jesus' story is contaminated, you have no evidence of that. What about the Jesus story is contaminated? When you talk about the white man versions of the Bible, where do he get that from? Because we have copies of the original Bible, thousands of copies. And I would like to know, those copies that were written by ancient Jews and that sort of stuff, how much are they different to the translations that we have? Because our translations are based upon them, these modern translations. So, what is Johnny talking about? And we're talking about foreigners coming into the business, but based upon the Bible teachings, we ought not to put any stumbling block in front of foreigners to hinder them from living in the country. The Bible said there ought to be one law for both foreigners and locals. And to be quite honest, because of certain foreigners, especially the Chinese, they have brought improvement to certain things. Like many businesses are now open for longer hours, which has been brought about by the extra competitions of the Chinese. And certain stuff, they have been able to sell them cheaper on certain stuff, which has been very competitive. So the more people you're allowed to come in to do business, in the end, it is a net plus for the economy. And it helps the economy to grow, and it provides markets. And we need markets to thrive. Markets
Ms. Henry
more customers.
Wasn't advocating against businesses coming in. She was speaking about at the expense of the local businesses. That's the issue. She's not against business coming in, but when it affects the local business, that's a problem.
Well, I don't see it as a problem because that is part of competition, and it means that either one, the local business that they put up was not efficient enough, and two, probably they failed to pull up their socks when they should have in some areas because they became too lax when there was no competition. So it's not a problem. It's not
a level playing field. They get their loans at 2% from certain banks. We get our loans up to 7, 9, and 11%. So it's not a level playing field. So it's not because they cannot step up. The competition gets their loans and this thing at 2%.
Who they get the loans from?
I know I'm not call a bank, but China has put funding in certain banks for them.
Okay.
At 2%.
Well, again. Would a bank lend people at 2%?
What I said.
When others go to that same bank, they lend them at a higher percentage.
What I said, I'm not going to call the name of the institution, but China has deposited funds in these institutions within the region to assist their people at loans at 2%. The other commercial banks within, say, St. Kitts, for example, you get your loans between 7 to 11%. So you can compete with these investors. So it's not a level playing field.
Well, I believe, even in spite of that, I believe there are other ways you can compete. But you see, the thing is, in order to be competitive, your economy have to become a lot more business friendly, and that is what we are lacking. So even if that is being the case, okay, and I ain't seen evidence of that, but even if that is the case, okay, if you have an economy that is very business friendly, for example, with low taxation, less business regulations and that sort of stuff, you can still compete.
Can I give an
Very
example?
much so. Example of what?
There's a certain businessman with establishment in with a property in the circus. There was a lady there who had a shoe store, selling, doing well. That gentleman raised her rent to what the Indians pay at Port Zante, the equivalent, 3,000 US.
Mm-hmm.
Force her out of business. Look who moved in the same establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And that businessman is local. But he matched her rent to what the Indians pay at Port Zante. 3,000 US. 8,000 plus EC. Force her out of business. And the Indians move in there. And then, of course, we support them. So it's a whole mentality. Even local people are undermining their own for the... That's part of it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if you have a very business-friendly place where you don't have all of these regulations and you have very low taxation, people will be able to build more. People will be able to build more and offer more spaces for rent and even build their own thing. Maybe that woman is probably, if the economy was a lot more friendly, she probably might have been in a better position of building her own stuff. Because it would have been cheaper for her. You know, so that's what I'm saying. An economy that is the more friendly business you are as an economy is the greater the chances are for even the poorer class to be successful in business because it's cheaper for them to build their own stuff and it's cheaper for others to build stuff to house them and that sort of stuff. That is what, for example, I know I've spoken to another lady who was in the shoe business, and her complaint was the high taxation and that sort of stuff. Your economy need to be business friendly, but so I think the more people in the place is the more market you grow, and the better it is for the economy in India. And it is biblical because the Bible tells you, do not put any blockage or hindrance to the foreigner or the stranger. You're supposed to have one law for all.
And the foreigner or the stranger should not be encouraged at the expense of the local businesses. Well,
if a private man, I always believe if a private man, like for example the bank you cited, if they decide to lend at a certain percentage for one type of people and another percentage for another type of people, I believe as the private bank, they ought to have that right to do that.
These people don't go to the same...
And let the market determine the success or the failure.
They get the funding, let's say about the Chinese, they get the funding from China. And the conditions are they must employ their own people. Okay? And they get the loans at 2%. I'm not going to name the institution, but it's something to research. Other local investors here in St. Kitts have to go to the other commercial banks who give the loans, the minimum 7%, but up to 11%. So we can't compete with those other persons. And that is why you find they've gone into certain communities and just taken over. So what Ms. Henry was referring to is not stopping them from investing, but making sure that you protect your local investors first and foremost.
Again, Socrates. Again, even if that low rate of interest for the Chinese, you're speaking of because the government invests in whatever bank. There are other ways and means and initiatives. Once your economy is friendly business enough, which I was saying, but once your economy is friendly business
friendly,
trust me, you can still compete because doing this will still be cheap for everybody. You can see because for example, you have big businesses. And people start from nothing and come and compete with those big businesses. And sometimes what those big businesses have to do, they have to go to government, to lobby government, to put pressure on the small businesses to drive them out the economy through taxation and regulations and that sort of stuff. So it shows you, in spite of whatever, you can still compete, even if you start from scratch.
When the small business association was up and viable, we had that environment. It no longer exists. That was destroyed under certain administration.
Yeah, but that is why I'm saying you need to make your economy much more.
We had it at one point. So you have a point. Okay, we did there. We had a small business association thriving. And so we had a lot of small businesses popping up here and there. that was destroyed by heavy taxation under certain administration. Law
Well,
cut.
then we need to make it business friendly again.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, in China right now, the economy is suffering and the banks are failing.
Okay.
So maybe that is one of the results of the decisions in squandering money.
The folks
so
here.
everything takes time.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Lastly, I would like to say this. It does not matter who is in government. It really does not matter. If we don't do things God's way, things would go wrong and disastrously wrong and ruinously wrong in the long run. In the short run, things might seem to appear to be going good, but it is really a fattening up for the slaughter, because in the end, because there are things that look apparently good, but really and truly, the results of such is disaster and ruin. You know, and
we're gonna call on the line, Gregory. So
yeah. So my quick thing is, let us do things God way, otherwise we would fail in the end. Thank you.
Much
very much.
appreciated. As we go back to the phone lines, caller, thanks for holding. You're live on Voices.
Good day, Socrates.
Good
My name,
day. Yeah. Somebody got that's your call. That's your call.
What did I do this time?
But no, they want to hear you weigh in on certain things. I don't know if it was a topic with Mr. Alki Davis and the comments he would have made, that attitude, or whatever it was. Mr. Henry said she'd like to hear your weighing in, so. I love engaging you. You know what I mean? So congratulations on your party's victory at the polls. You can start with that?
My party?
Yeah. When I say parties, ascribing it to you. I say parties, but the apostrophe, I'm actually ascribing it to you. Your parties, not party plural, but your party victory at the polls, right?
But you're ascribing to me a party, which I owned one.
Yeah, because
anyway.
From our last discussion, you were advocating for the One Labour Party.
For a particular, yes.
Yes.
Because I thought that was our, that was the only way that we could have gotten out of the morass.
Okay.
And I'm so glad, to be quite honest, that so many people agreed with me. Because that wasn't just an ordinary beating, that was what Obama called it, a shellacking.
Enjoy it.
I mean, when you look at what was it? Nearly 15,000 people voting for the Labour Party as opposed to
the alternative combined.
Yeah, right. That I mean, that was no ordinary victory. Right? And I think heard people saying that, well, the flights made a difference. The flights obviously did not make a huge difference in this case, not with those kinds of margin.
Okay.
I mean, even the Prime Minister's constituency, the ex-Prime Minister's constituency, and Sean's constituency, they lost ground.
Yep.
Okay? There was a definite swing. And, I'm so proud of our people, because with all the propaganda that went out there about you're going to lose pap and step and peace and all that nonsense, and with all the money and flashiness that was being bandied about, they still went and made what I consider.
I am told that some orange people took the money when they voted with.
Yeah, of course. Right? Because, I always had confidence. I mean, to be quite honest, I wasn't sure what would have happened. Right? But I always felt that our people, bearing in mind the stock that they came from, bearing in mind the sacrifices made by their ancestors, by the old people, who knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted life to be better for the succeeding generation. It's unlikely, it was always unlikely that people would just buy into this. You know, there was this thing about, I am not going to follow what my parents used to do and grandparents used to do, right? I going to vote for me. You know, I don't think that as many people bought into that as I think the PLP especially would have hoped.
Okay.
Okay? And so we got the results that we did.
Okay.
Right? With regards...
Go ahead.
Yeah, with regards Alki David.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember when he first came here, and my take on it was that we didn't bring him here for his magnetic personality, right? You can do business with somebody without liking them, all right? That happens all the time, right? The States does business with China, don't like their human rights record. You know, it happens all the time in business, okay? And I'm saying, and I remember saying then, that we're going to rue the day that we didn't at least negotiate with Alki David. Since he had the plants right here, he had the markets, he had the financing and the contacts to at least make a start in the industry. Okay? Whereas everybody else was talking about it, okay, I thought we could have made a start. How we decided to do it was up to us in negotiations. It was not we were going to take what he said straight out the door and run with it. Okay? But look at us, how many years later. The land is still there in Kasha and Wild Tamarin. We're not doing anything with that. We're still just talking. All right? And so that is where I came from at that time. Now, if he's coming with his same obnoxious comment about what tying up an ex-prime minister, no, of course we condemn things like that. Okay? We don't have to tolerate that. Right? But at the same time, I'll tell you, and you very well know because you live here, you have some people here who say worse things about ex-prime ministers than that. Okay? Shouldn't we condemn them too?
We critique our own. I cannot go to the next one country or go to the next one country. I mean, we have a right to critique our own in that way, but to threaten... threaten physically to come in and tie up a former prime minister and drag him, you're out of order.
No, you condemn all of them.
Yes, but don't try to compare that. Don't try to compare that to what we say about our own people here.
No, you're wrong with this one.
Do not compare that to what we say about our own people here.
Don't tell me we have a right to say whatever we want and be disrespectful to our own people. No. If we don't respect our own people, why should we expect somebody else
in the political theater that we've had here over the many, many years? We say things, some are nasty, etc., but don't tell me that give license to anybody else to come with that attitude to threaten physically, to tie up, walk with a rope.
You're not understanding me. It does not give them license. What I am saying is that we should condemn all such acts.
And beyond that, invite him to the business.
If we don't exhibit the kind of respect for our leaders, how are we expected to get respect?
Okay.
When for instance, let me give you a good example. When, for instance, a prime minister would go to a foreign capital of our ex-colonizers and embarrass us by getting involved in a situation which is pretty much close to bribery, do you really expect that foreign government would respect us? They're going to call us, which is what they did in the thing anyway, that they were dealing They were bribing corrupt Caribbean politicians. And we get this, they paint up all of us with the same brush, you know. Right? And I'm saying that wherever you have instances where you have things like that happening, we should condemn them.
Okay.
Wherever you have instances where there is disrespect, you should condemn it. I think
Okay, here's what. we're gonna go to the sponsors, but your bottom line is condemn them.
I'll just leave this quote with you. He basically said that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, right?
And the bottom line for you is condemning but inviting for business.
Condemn everybody.
But inviting for business. Yes. I gotta go to a word from the sponsors. We gotta go to sponsors, right?
Okay then.
But thank you very much for that. We go to pay tribute to sponsors. We'll be back shortly.
It's that time of the year again. The time when Horsewood Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in cash back for free groceries with every FlexPlay purchase. Never-ending cash back for the past 25 years. SL Horsewood and Company Limited, Horsewood Furniture and Appliances Showroom, Ashley Furniture Home Store, in collaboration with Value Mart IGA, has given customers millions of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cash back. Yes, the Horsewood's cash back free groceries annual program and promotion is the biggest and longest running of its kind in the Federation. Come today and get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase. The never-ending cashback is back at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Home Store, where you get cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service. It's the never-ending cashback. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Welcome back to Voices, and we go straight back to the phone lines. Call your live on Voices.
Good afternoon, King. Me again.
Yes,
listen, let me first deal with the marijuana guy and the issue. First of all, I don't believe that the current elected Prime Minister should even respond to that. His best response is to rebuke him by not dealing with him. Period. You don't have to utter a word. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
The best way to deal with him is not to deal with him at all. You know, don't even give him the satisfaction of your work based on the foolishness he talk. Because I was the first person that, and one of the first person who, when I see that video, push back and say, well, let he come now. Let he put some licks on the backside. See what licks he gonna get. If you think he could disrespect any one of us, no matter how we feel about the person who he want to disrespect, let he come. And let me get your ass broke in.
I hear you.
You know? But past that, no. Still on the same marijuana issue or the cannabis issue, you must have foreign input in it, and I'm going to tell you why. But it's how we deal with the foreign input. Because I'll ask you this question. Do you know of anyone in St. Kitts who involved in the cannabis trade that has any connection to retail and distribution?
Marketing outreach? Not at the moment. I know of a certain gentleman who's putting that in place as a business, having the land, having the fertilizer, and those were his plans.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. Listen carefully.
I mean, currently, no.
Growing it is one thing.
But the markets?
The market, because the way this thing is set up now, Ain't anybody could just up and sell it on the street or in just any other store either. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have connections to
The infrastructure.
the market, of distribution,
The grading.
and retail.
The grading of it and all that.
Yes. So you have to partner with people who are in those channels.
Mm-hmm.
But not that somebody gonna come in, take over the whole thing and just have us as
employees,
as workers.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
As goers,
Can't
yeah.
work that way.
All right.
Whoever comes in have to give us a piece. He have to give us a piece of what we get from growing. He gotta give us a piece of the marketing and exporting. He got to give us a piece of retail. You understand?
If you're partnering with a local, they're supposed to own at least 51% of the business.
Right. All right? But what I'm saying is, the person who you might partner with, I'm just saying you still got to be careful. Because at the end of the day, all you will, even if you're the partner at the business, because you got to remember the way how people structure business nowadays. The business could have multiple entities in it. You understand?
But you must
And you only a partner of one part of the
control
entity.
shares.
Yeah, but you might be only a partner in one part of the entity.
All right.
You understand? So the way to do that is to just tell the person when they come in, listen, if you want to be in the cannabis business out of St. Kitts, we have to have a share in every aspect of that business because that person might have another company that once he go here, it goes to that other company of which he have shares in and you don't know, right? And then in the retail, he have shares in the retail side of it as well. So he getting money every step of the way.
All right.
Meanwhile, you only getting the production piece, which is the production is the lease.
So these are things that all investors, local and others, have to look at. The government, the people who will have oversight, they will have to look into those things.
Yeah. You know? So, and your partner Greg with him, and sorry to say, he's a last case. Because if he doesn't understand in economics the price of money, it means that you are going to have to work 6 times harder than the man who getting money cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how buoyant the economy is. If your competition is getting money at a lower cost than you, it means that your growth is going to be...
You could undercut you every single day.
You can't grow. Because to grow a business, it needs capital. And if the cost of the capital is a hamstring on you, that means the man, you're running
circles around you.
And the man running 100 yards at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to reach the finish line 60 times before you even reach halfway in your race.
Okay, appreciate that.
So
I appreciate that.
You have to understand that.
Okay, which?
No matter what angle you try to steer him to so you could understand that, it still come up to the economy. Doesn't matter the economy, Gregory. If you cannot get money at a cheap rate, your hurdles are damn near impossible to jump
Your
over.
overhead, your staff, your utilities, you can't compete with them.
Everything. Because you got to remember, everything else, whatever obstacle you have, the other person's going to have too.
All right.
But his difference is now is he getting money cheaper than you. So he could jump over those obstacles before you could even figure out how you're going to get over it.
Those are the realities. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, man. Good day.
Thank you for your contribution. We got about 26 minutes down past the 1 o'clock hour, so we cruise into the end of today's story. We have any callers online? Quick story. Some years ago, I ordered 10 scooters through a dealership, scooter rental thing I was setting up. I waited some time for them, and they got here the very week that the real people, they found some things on the Southeast Peninsula that had plenty money to show around. So while I'm at the dealership now to receive my bikes, this one person came in, no shoes, a halter top, and start making noise. He want to buy the but he was buying cash. I saw respected people in that dealership run behind that man, took him downtown, did all his paperwork, brought him back up, and sold him my bikes and tell me wait till next week on the next shipment. Back to the phone lines. Call your 11 voices.
Yes, Socrates, it's
Sir.
me again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Socrates.
Sir.
It is well known, yes, it is well known in different countries, including here in Singapore. Okay? People who are at a terrible disadvantage economically have come up and compete with people who have been at an economic advantage. When an economy, the more friendly business an economy is, it is easier for everybody to go into business. And people who have been at a severe economic disadvantage have overtaken people who have been at an advantage, great advantage. So it ain't set in stone because you have an economic advantage, be it to gain a lesser interest on loans or whatever else. It ain't set in stone that you cannot come up and compete with a certain with business that have an economic advantage. Once your economy is business friendly, once you're operating within a free market capitalist type economy where government does not intervene to make things harder for the small man, it doesn't matter. You can succeed over those who have a greater advantage where you are concerned. So it's not true. It's not true that if you don't have this great advantage, you can advance and succeed. You can still, and that has been happening continually throughout history.
Sometimes it comes down to the business acumen of the persons involved, because you could have a conglomerate, but your management and is not, you're not having the best practices, and so you will lose, and the smaller man will advance because of his business acumen. Your customer base, if they feel they could get more value by them, they'll go there. They'll come by your depending. So all that's a given. But we're saying still,
you're correct.
All right.
You're correct. But what helps the poor man a lot is how much business friendly the economy you're operating. That is very, very, very important and cannot be discounted. And I'm sorry, but ours are not friendly business enough.
I
just wanted.
Quickly, because we're out of time, we got about 10 seconds.
Quickly, I just wanted to expand on something I said earlier. What I said earlier is very true. A lot of people, and I've been saying this for over the years, a lot of people think, if we get this person in power, in government, things will go good. Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who is in government, things will go disastrously if they are not doing things the Bible way. And what I'm saying is that...
You said so earlier, Gregory.
Socialist. I wanted something that I didn't say on this vein. Socialist policies, communist policies, central planning policies, policies that government owning this, owning that, controlling that, and all this sort of stuff. These are policies that are contrary to the Bible, and these are policies that will sink your economy. And it doesn't matter who in government, they will sink your economy when these policies apply because they are contrary to the Bible.
Okay. We would have heard just now from Gregory. That's his story, and he's sticking to it as we come to another close of a fabulous episode of Voices. My name is Socrates. I want to thank all the callers, the viewers who made a contribution. New York Joe, Mr. Pell, etc. Rosemary up there in New York. Thank you for your you've been attentive. And I will be back here, God's willing, on Friday for another episode of Voices. Thank you very much. Good day.
Here are your Hustlers Value Mart IG Value Club Blue Tag specials from July 28th through August 10th.